So, a lot's been made of morning routines. Do you have one? Do you have a ritual? Is there something you stick to every day? What do you do on a daily basis, if anything? Are you up extra early? Are you going through certain steps? Are you meditating? What's your morning routine look like? So what I thought I'd share with you today, because I get this question quite a bit, is, hey, what does your morning routine look like and how do you execute it? And so I'm going to get deep and tactical on this, exactly how I go about each step of my morning routine, what I do, and even some variations that I try as I navigate the morning each morning for me. So I'll start with this. I do my morning routine 5 to 6 days a week. Sometimes I don't do the weekends. Some people say that's not the right thing to do. You should stay on task for the whole week and weekend, but I tend to take the weekends off. At least one of the weekend days off I'll take. So Monday through Friday, I'm usually on that morning routine because I have such a structure to my day after that it sets me up well. The weekends I try to remain with family and not be too involved in too much structure, so I don't feel the need to get up so early and do everything in a morning routine. So I typically do it 5 days a week. As far as when I wake up, it varies, but right now I've settled in on about 5:30 every morning. There was a point in time where 4:30 served me really well when my kids were a little bit younger. I mean, they're still pretty young now, but when they were like baby age and they were getting up extra early. Now they're on a pretty good schedule, so I get up around 5:30, sometimes 6 o'clock, depending on what time I went to bed. I really shoot for 7 hours. I can operate on 6 without a problem. I could probably operate on 5. That's just me. My wife needs 9, but I could do 5, 6 hours. But I try to get 7 because I know the importance of sleep, and it's become more and more a part of my life in the last year or so. Meaning trying to get the right amount of sleep. But typically I'm getting up around 5:30. That gives me enough time to kind of get through my morning routine and then hit the ground running no later than 8 a.m. What I follow is really just mostly the Miracle Morning from Hal Elrod. If you haven't read the book, absolutely fantastic. If you don't want to read a book, just go on and Google the term Savers, Hal Elrod, Miracle Morning, and you can see the 6 steps to what he calls the Miracle Morning. And I, by and large, follow that, and I'll explain how I do that on a daily basis. So first is silence in the Savers acronym, and I meditate in my silence. So when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, I drink a bottle of water. I usually take my vitamin at that point. And I'll get myself dressed and ready, and then I go and I meditate. Meditation for me is guided. I enjoy guided meditation for the most part, although some days I'll do a non-guided meditation, or I'll do a combination of the two. For a long time, I was using the Calm app. Some people like Headspace. Waking Up from Sam Harris is a fantastic app if you want to learn meditation in a really deep way. He's got like a 20 or 25-day challenge or training course that you can take in his app. It's really good. But I like Calm. Calm has the daily Calm. I can put in my earbuds. I sit down, I close my eyes, and I can kind of zone out in meditation for about 10 minutes each day. But often I'll go past that 10 minutes because it takes me about 6 to 7 to really get myself to a place of calm. And I'll take the next maybe 10 minutes after that, so another 5 to 10 minutes above and beyond the guided meditation, to do just a meditation without any music, without any sound, without any guidance whatsoever. Something I bought recently is called the Muse. And if you haven't seen the Muse, it's a headband that goes around the front of your forehead and then it kind of latches on behind your ears. You have to have earbuds in as well. It will do a guided meditation for you however long you want it to. And it actually plays music, or not even music, it can be music, but it plays like rainfall, like the sound of rainfall that accelerates if it senses that you're distracted, and it comes down to the point of being very quiet. And even you hear birds chirping if you're in a place of calm based on its reading of your brain waves or the activity that it's feeling from you. So I don't know exactly how it works. Some people call it voodoo. For me, what it really does is it makes me focus in on the art of meditation, on the practice of meditation, whereas a regular guided meditation that's not sensing anything, I can get distracted much more easily. So I like the Muse from that standpoint. Plus it has tracking. It tells you how many bird chirps you heard. That tells you that you're at the base of being mindful, I guess, and all of that. So the Muse is another tool I'll use, but Calm is a great app. Waking Up is a great app. I've never used Headspace, but I hear a lot about it. Can't recommend it personally, but I'm sure that's out there for you to use as well. So the A in Savers, the next one, you have silence, which I do meditation. The next one is affirmation. So I do 2 things with affirmation. I have 10 affirmations that I use on a daily basis, and they are all I am affirmations. I'm an amazing father. I'm a devoted husband, all the way down the list, right? The reason I use 10 is because I will often use those 10 affirmations as my count for when I get to my exercise, but more on that in a second. The other part of my affirmations that I use is a template from another Hal Elrod book called The Miracle Equation, which is another fantastic book, easy read, and it talks about unwavering faith and extraordinary effort, and how those two things are the equation for you to achieve what you want. And he gives you this really good template that I have to read mostly. It's hard to remember the whole thing on how you can use that as an affirmation. So after I meditate and I'm in that calm state, I'll open up my phone, look at the Notes app, and I'll read that affirmation template. And I'll also run through my 10 affirmations as much as I feel I need to. If I'm feeling pretty good, I'll go with it. I only need to run through it once, twice, but sometimes I need to repeat that a bunch of times if I'm not feeling that great, or if I'm feeling like I need to remind myself of something. So that's my affirmation practice. I use a combination of 10 I am affirmations and the template for me, and I modify, of course, for me from the Miracle Equation. The next one in the Savers model is the V, which is for visualization. So again, I've meditated, that's my silence. I've done my affirmations, I haven't moved at this point, and then I'll do my visualization. And I've done this a few different ways. Vision boards are great. I've used them. They're good. I just struggle keeping up with them as my vision changes and morphs and all that stuff. It's like cut something else out and stick it on the board. But I do have one. So vision board is one way. I've gone to a digital vision board. It's my phone's lock screen. So I just took an image, I cropped it into the 6 images that I really want, like where I want to live, what I want to be doing, what my net worth I want it to be. And that is my lock screen. So I can pop that up and look at that real quick as a visualization exercise that I have. But I usually start, since I've done a meditation and I'm in a calm state, I've done my affirmations, my visualization is usually me sitting and with eyes closed, just thinking about the goals that I have and the vision that I have for myself. So I've got on the inside of my journal, the front page, I've got like my 4 or 5 top goals written down. And so I usually glance at those and then visualize those things coming to life. So that's kind of how I manage visualization. I don't take a ton of time here, 2-3 minutes maybe, but some days I get a bit emotional about it and I stay in that state because I know that's fueling me. But for the most part, this is a pretty quick part of the entire morning routine for me. So the next one is exercise. That's the E. Savers is the E is exercise. While I will go to the gym after this routine and do my full workout, 30 to 45 minutes, typically sometimes an hour, I'll do that after this routine. So I want to be clear on that. I do incorporate a short exercise regimen, very short, into my savers. So I do it kind of in order, but what I'll do is after I've visualized, I'll drop down on the floor and I'll do 20, 40, 60 push-ups in sets of 20. And before I mentioned about my affirmations and how I use those, what I'll do is for each set of 20, I'll repeat each affirmation twice. So I'm an amazing father. I'm an amazing father. I'm a devoted husband. I'm a devoted husband, right through to 20. I don't have to count. I just know I say each of them twice. I've got them committed to memory, the 10 affirmations that I use. And that's what I do to kind of count out my push-ups. And it depends. I'll do 20, 40, 60. I've done up to 100 in sets of 20. And again, even with 100, that takes me just a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes to get through 5 sets of 20, repeating the affirmations, just further building in elements of the entire morning routine into that brief exercise regimen, just to get the blood flowing before I finish up my routine and head to the gym. The next the next letter in Savers is the R. And this R is for reading. So again, I do this a couple different ways. If I've woken up early enough and my meditation wasn't too long and I'm kind of doing good on time, I'll just open the book that I'm reading at the time and I'll read. I'll physically read for 10, 15, sometimes even 20 minutes if I'm really into it. What I'll also do, though, as a component of reading is if I'm pressed for time, I will put a podcast in, or if I have an Audible book I'm listening to, and I'll do that while I'm working out at the gym after my routine. So when I go to the gym, I'll listen for that 30, 45 minutes and even the trip back and forth to really just kind of get the reading, if you will, done while I'm at the gym and do my workout, kind of combining efforts. I think it's so important to do it either way, just putting positive stuff in your brain every day, positive information, even if you're reading a fiction book and allowing yourself to dream a little bit, something along those lines really serves me on a daily basis that I'd encourage it for all of you. The last S, we started with an S, we're ending with an S, is scribing, and this is journaling for me. So I just use a regular notebook, and as I run out of it, I write the dates on the front and I stick it in a drawer and I go to the next notebook. But for this one, what I'll do is I'll take it out. Again, I look at my front inside cover. I have my goals there. I glance at those before my visualization. Then I'll flip to wherever my next blank page is. I'll write the date at the top. And I challenge myself every morning to write out one full page of gratitude. Could be 5 things if it's a lot of writing. It could be 20 things, all one-liners, just things I'm grateful for. But leaning into gratitude on a daily basis for me has been something that's gotten me through tough times and has kept me grounded when I'm feeling like things are flying high. So gratitude is a great way to start the day off. And then I'll just journal. For me, journaling is literally a brain dump. Whatever's in my mind comes out. Sometimes it's to-do lists. Sometimes it's, just killing myself for a little bit before I pick myself back up. Sometimes it's just random thoughts, sentence to sentence. They don't even go together. But in that moment, I need to get this out. And what I find with journaling is the more I commit to it and the more I write, the more I figure stuff out as I go. Like uneasy issues in my brain, sometimes the second I write them down, by the second sentence, I have a solution just simply because I did that. I used to use an app called the Morning Pages because without getting too deep into it, I struggled with the kids being young, I struggled to sort of have a space for me to just write and all this stuff. So I would use an app called the Morning Pages, which is good, but I've seen the power in writing. I understand the power in physically writing. It activates your brain. It activates parts of your body that really make you, drill in on exactly what you're writing. Just not the same as typing. Typing is just it doesn't bake in as much. So I write out everything that's on my mind. I'll write for maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes each day. And that's my scribing. So essentially that's my miracle morning. It takes me about an hour, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. And again, I'll do a full exercise after that at the gym. I like to get out of the house in the morning and go to the gym. So I'm home by 7:30, typically 7:45, and then I can hit the day at 8 o'clock and get rolling. But hopefully that helps all of you. If this was helpful for you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and comment on this video. It just helps more people get this content if you think it's valuable. Feel free to share it with anybody you want to, and let me know what you think.